Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Power Insider. Right now, let's dive into a groundbreaking geopolitical event in the Middle East. A dramatic military move that has reshaped the regional power map and sent an unmistakably clear message. On June 21, 2025, the United States sent a clear message to Iran by launching a large-scale airstrike campaign targeting three strategic nuclear sites, Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow. This is a strong retaliatory action in response to challenges from Tehran, demonstrating the U.S. Air Force's determination to completely dismantle the opponent's uranium enrichment program. This marks a severe escalation of tensions in the Middle East. This campaign not only showcased the United States' superior military power, but also triggered unprecedented strategic and political repercussions in the region. Defense analysts have likened this preemptive strike to an uncompromising warning shot aimed at reshaping the balance of power in the area and forcing all parties to reconsider the red lines regarding the nuclear program. Before the attack began, the White House Command Center became the focal point with continuous meetings between President Donald Trump and his national security advisors, a tense process of deliberation and strategic planning. Absolutely precise intelligence was gathered thanks to satellites from the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency and surveillance equipment from MQ-9 Reaper drones. This helped to identify the details of each facility and structure within Iran's nuclear sites. Detailed heat maps and spectral analysis provided realistic 3D images of the underground complexes, enabling precise pinpointing of the location of each centrifuge and uranium storage area. Among the targets, Fordow, located deep between 260 and 295 feet underground near Qom, was the most challenging site requiring a specialized type of weapon. The U.S. Air Force deployed 6 B-2 Spirit bombers, launching from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. These B-2s were supported by 2 Virginia-class submarines in the Persian Gulf, ready to launch Tomahawk missiles if needed. This rare combination of strategic air power and underwater naval forces demonstrated thorough preparation and a diversified attack strategy, minimizing risks to the greatest extent. On the night of June 20th, just hours before the operation was set to begin, President Trump gave the green light to the plan with orders to maximize destruction while ensuring no American soldiers were harmed. The mission started when 6 B-2 Spirit bombers took off flying across the Atlantic Ocean and the Middle East on a 12-hour journey. Each aircraft carried 2 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator MOP bombs, each weighing up to 30,000 pounds. At the same time, the submarines USS Delaware and USS Montana launched 30 Tomahawk cruise missiles, each equipped with a 1,000-pound warhead and a range of approximately 1,000 miles. The targets were clearly assigned. Fordow was hit by GBU-57 bombs, while Natanz and Isfahan were destroyed by Tomahawk missiles. The campaign was also supported by EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft, RQ-4 Global Hawk drones, conducting real-time surveillance, and F-22 Raptor fighter jets, escorting and ready to respond to any counterattacks. The seamless coordination among various assets, from reconnaissance and electronic jamming to precision strikes and escort, created a perfect military symphony, turning Iranian airspace into a stage for technological power. The GBU-57 MOP bomb, nicknamed the Bunker Buster, can penetrate up to 197 feet of reinforced concrete, with an explosive power equivalent to 5.4 tons of TNT. Equipped with an extremely precise GPS guidance system and inertial sensors, it leaves no chance for deep underground targets like Fordow to survive. This campaign not only demonstrated the technological and tactical superiority of the U.S. military, but also changed the way the world views the power dynamics in Middle Eastern geopolitics, where every decision can ignite a confrontation on a global scale. The Tomahawk missile, equipped with terrain contour matching guidance technology and sharp digital image recognition, has achieved an accuracy of up to 100 feet. This level of precision is ideal for destroying the centrifuge center at the Natanz facility and the critical fuel depot in Isfahan. Each missile costs up to $8.25 million, weighs 205 pounds, travels at a speed of 547 miles per hour, and follows a low-altitude flight path to avoid detection by enemy air defense radar. Every parameter of the attack is meticulously calculated to minimize the risk of nuclear leakage. The Tomahawk's terrain-following and radar-evading capabilities have been significantly upgraded, allowing it to navigate through the narrowest mountain passes, rendering all traditional defense systems ineffective against its sophistication. The attack commenced as 6 B-2 Spirit bombers silently glided at an altitude of about 49,000 feet, penetrating Iranian airspace from the west. With their superior stealth capabilities and radar cross-section no larger than a bird's wing, the B-2s rendered Iran's S-300 air defense systems virtually blind, unable to detect them. Meanwhile, a group of 4 EA-18G Growler fighter jets operated approximately 31 miles away from the B-2 formation, emitting dense jamming signals that threw the enemy's radar and communication networks into chaos. The command center directly transmitted an encrypted order using the AS-256 protocol to the lead pilot of B-2 No. 1, confirming the target as the Fordow facility. The B-2 approached to within 12 miles, while the pilot checked the AN/APQ-181 navigation system. The display showed satellite images collected by the RQ-4 Global Hawk drone, which detected no signs of active defenses in the area. With the press of a button, the pilot activates the weapons bay, feeling a slight sensation as the doors open. 2 GBU-57 smart bombs, each weighing tens of tons, drop freely at a speed of 984 feet per second. They are guided by GPS and inertial sensors, penetrating through 98 feet of solid rock before detonating. The delayed detonation mechanism generates a devastating shock wave, reaching up to 210,000 psi, collapsing part of the uranium enrichment facility and tearing apart the surrounding area within a radius of 1,640 feet. Infrared evidence from B-2 No. 1 recorded a thick column of black smoke rising, signaling success. The underground explosion was so powerful that it caused a small artificial earthquake spreading throughout the calm region and alarming the local residents who had no idea of the real cause. Immediately afterward, B-2 bombers No. 2, 3, and 4 simultaneously dropped 6 more GBU-57 bombs directly on the main entrance and 2 side tunnels at Fordow. The pilots executed with absolute precision, releasing the bombs a few seconds apart to avoid collisions. Each bomb penetrated about 50 feet deep, pulverizing reinforced concrete and damaging approximately 40% of the centrifuges inside the facility. The RQ-4 drone recorded intense vibrations and widespread debris covering an area of several hundred feet. Pilot of B-2 No. 2 reported target hit heavy smoke, excellent effect. The fire smoldered intensely, spreading heat close to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, incinerating the surrounding area. Finally, B-2s No. 5 and 6 changed course to attack the underground command center at Fordow, dropping 4 more GBU bombs, completing the key phase of the assault. The sophisticated coordination, cutting-edge technology, and overwhelming power combined to deliver a surprise strategic strike. This severely weakened Iran's nuclear infrastructure while simultaneously affirming the superior dominance of the U.S. Air Force in the complex stealth battlefield. In a large-scale and precise military operation, 57 server systems along with the control room were destroyed right from the start. Specially designed bombs capable of penetrating up to 164 feet deep eliminated 60% of the control infrastructure completely severing all internal communications. Footage from the RQ-4 drone captured flames reaching 330 feet high, with black smoke blanketing the site, creating a chaotic and suffocating scene. The pilot flying B-2 number 5 confirmed the target was hit dead center, and the control center was completely paralyzed. Debris rained down like a storm, violently shaking the surrounding area. Specialized U.S. seismic sensors also detected the collapse of emergency escape tunnels, fully isolating whatever remained inside. At the same time, in the Persian Gulf, the submarines USS Delaware and USS Montana appeared at a depth of about 165 feet, launching 30 Tomahawk missiles from their vertical launch tubes. Each missile flew low, maintaining an altitude between 100 and 165 feet over Iranian territory, using terrain comparison and satellite imagery to avoid detection. The missiles were launched in 2 waves, 18 targeting Natanz and 12 aimed at Isfahan. The AN/SPY-6 radar on the destroyer USS John Paul Jones closely tracked each trajectory, ensuring absolute precision. Natanz S-300 air defense system quickly detected signals from the Tomahawk missiles and responded by launching 8 48N6 interceptor missiles. Although some of the missiles lost GPS signals and FEL 15 continued to track their targets at a speed of about 545 TB per. The report from the RQ-4 indicated that 3 missiles were successfully intercepted, while 15 continued to strike their targets. The Tomahawk missiles weaved through the valleys, changing course to evade radar and directly targeting Natanz main centrifuge complex. The first Tomahawk missiles completely destroyed the No. 1 centrifuge plant. They brought down a 6.5-foot thick, high-strength concrete ceiling, creating a 33-foot deep crater. The next 7 missiles struck the centrifuge storage warehouse, triggering multiple secondary explosions as ignition devices caught fire and burned intensely. The RQ-4's camera captured footage of thick black smoke engulfing the entire site, with scattered debris extending up to 164 feet away. It is estimated that up to 60% of the infrastructure at Natanz was leveled, with approximately 2,000 centrifuges destroyed. The pilot of B-2 aircraft number 3, after analyzing data from the RQ-4, confirmed that Natanz had been nearly completely neutralized. Subsequent satellite images clearly showed a massive scar on the surface, evidence of unprecedented devastation. Meanwhile, 3 squads named Isfahan TOS and TOMAX split into smaller teams focusing on fuel depots and uranium conversion laboratories. The first team, consisting of 5 members, destroyed 60% of the enriched fuel depot, triggering widespread explosions as 20 containers detonated, sending a fire column soaring 165 feet high. The second team, consisting of 4 people, leveled an underground laboratory located about 33 feet deep, destroying all the conversion equipment. The final team, made up of 3 warriors, cut off the backup power supply, causing the entire complex to lose power in an instant. At that moment, the RQ-4 drone detected temperatures reaching up to 832 degrees Fahrenheit at the scene. A plume of black smoke stretched for 1.24 miles, obscuring the target from all radar detection. Subsequent intelligence reports revealed that the accuracy of the Tomahawk missiles was so precise that it virtually nullified all of Iran's efforts to move or conceal sensitive materials. At Fordow, Iran's M1 air defense system was activated, launching 12 missiles to intercept US B-2 bombers. However, advanced stealth technology combined with the intervention of EA-18G fighter jets caused these missiles to lose their targets and explode harmlessly at high altitude. B-2 pilot number 1 immediately reported, "The enemy air defense system has completely failed and poses no threat whatsoever." About 12 miles away, residents in Qom heard a booming explosion, followed by debris falling like an unexpected earthquake. Although Iran's air defense system is modern, it was utterly powerless against the U.S.'s comprehensive multi-dimensional attack strategy. On the Pantsir S-1 radar near the Natanz area, faint signals from the B-2 were detected, prompting the 57E-6 missile launch systems to fire 4 rounds. However, the EA-18G's flexible switch to focused jamming mode successfully deceived the missiles, allowing the B-2 squadron to continue their mission at nearly Mach 0.9, maintaining a tight formation. The AN/ALQ-218 warning system continuously provided critical information, and the RQ-4 reconnaissance aircraft confirmed that no missiles successfully approached the formation. B-2 pilot number 4 asserted enemy missiles have been neutralized. The airspace is completely secure. On the sea surface, the USS Montana detected sonar signals from an Iranian Kilo-class submarine approximately 19 miles away. The American submarine immediately submerged to a depth of 660 feet and activated its noise reduction system to avoid detection. At the same time, the destroyer USS John Paul Jones deployed active sonar buoys as decoys to mislead the enemy. This decisive action established a strong defensive barrier protecting the U.S. fleet from the risk of attack. At the same time, the USS Delaware and USS Montana submarines descended to a depth of 820 feet, moving into international waters in the Strait of Oman to avoid any potential trouble. The underwater confrontation was just as tense as the one in the air, demonstrating the U.S.'s comprehensive preparedness on all fronts. In the air, the RQ-4 reconnaissance drone detected the activity of a NAVO SVU-1L119 radar near Isfahan, a system capable of detecting stealth targets. Immediately, EA-18G fighter jets deployed active jamming tactics, emitting false signals that created decoy targets about 62 miles away, deceiving the Iranian radar and dispersing its search efforts. The B-2 squadron took advantage of the opportunity to easily exit Iranian airspace at a top speed of approximately 380 miles per hour. Meanwhile, 4 F-15E Strike Eagle fighter jets from Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar escorted the B-2 squadron through Iraqi airspace, while an RQ-4 drone continuously monitored and confirmed that no Iranian adversaries attempted to intercept or pursue them. The Milstar satellite system then recorded the mission completion signal from B-2 number 1 sent to the command center. The lead pilot proudly reported Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan were hit precisely with no casualties. This was one of the most complex airstrike operations in history, demonstrating the absolute superiority of American military technology. At that time, former President Donald Trump monitored the entire operation from the command room. Afterwards, he posted on Truth Social, "All aircraft have safely left Iranian airspace." The 35-minute operation concluded with all U.S. military personnel unharmed. Not long after, on the 21st, he addressed the nation saying, "Congratulations to our great warriors. No other army could have done this. Now is the time to move toward peace." On social media, he emphasized that Iran's 3 key nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan were successfully attacked, and no aircraft were damaged during the operation. Beyond Iranian airspace, President Trump announced he would deliver a national address at 10:00 p.m. on June 22nd, sparking a major wave of attention on the international stage. According to CNN sources citing 3 close associates, he expects the attacks to force Tehran back to the negotiating table, while affirming that there are no plans for further military actions in Iran. Trump decided to intervene, believing this was the only way to destroy Iran's fortified nuclear facilities after diplomatic efforts had reached a dead end. His statement is seen as a strong, hawkish message, but it also carries the intention of reopening the negotiation channel, putting Tehran in a position where it must make a choice. However, these attacks sparked a fierce wave of controversy. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie openly criticized the campaign as unconstitutional, arguing, that Trump bypassed Congress in conducting military actions outside the country. Meanwhile, Democratic Representative Sarah Jacobs agreed but warned about the risk of prolonging an endless conflict in the Middle East. Not everyone was skeptical. Representative Andy Harris praised the campaign as a symbol of peace through strength, emphasizing that the U.S. has completely eliminated Iran's nuclear capabilities, protecting American lives, allies, and global stability. The debate within the U.S. Congress reflects a deep division over foreign policy, but at the same time, it also highlights the complexity of this move. The U.S. strategy is built on three pillars: stealth, precision, and overwhelming power. The combination of the B-2's advanced technology and Tomahawk missiles overcame all of Iran's air defense systems, while the involvement of EA-18G fighter jets ensured complete surprise. Real-time data from the RQ-4 drones helps quickly adjust tactics, while the F-22 Raptor fighters are always ready to respond to counterattacks. The complex flight paths of the Tomahawk missile perfectly deceive the enemy's S-300 radar system. Combined with electronic warfare and precision weapons, the attack unfolds smoothly and with devastating power. The result was a critical blow. The Fordow facility lost 30% of its uranium enrichment capacity, with the main halls and 2 tunnels completely leveled. The Natanz facility suffered over 60% damage, with 2,000 centrifuges destroyed. The fuel depot and laboratory in Isfahan were completely destroyed, causing the area to be out of operation for 72 hours. Thanks to prior evacuation efforts, Iran suffered the loss of only 12 technicians. Regarding the costs, the attack incurred approximately $660 million for Zeus-R missiles, $95 million for GBU-57 bombs, and $165 million for Tomahawk missiles, with no personnel losses. Iran deployed S-300 defense systems at Natanz and Isfahan, along with Thor M1 and Panzer S-1 systems at Fordow, but only managed to shoot down 3 Tomahawk missiles. The B-2's stealth capability and the EA-18G's jamming completely disabled Iran's radar, while Iranian air forces didn't dare to take off for fear of the F-22 aircraft. The air defense system was utterly ineffective against the GBU-57 bomb. Residents in the surrounding areas heard loud explosions, indicating that Iran's interception system is truly weak. Iran's economic losses have reached $13.75 billion, with Natanz and Isfahan requiring up to 18 months to recover, while Fordow is operating at only 20% capacity. Even more strangely, Iran did not launch any immediate retaliatory response. Tehran's silence raises many questions about their actual military capabilities following recent losses, or whether this is a strategic calculation to avoid further escalation. This sophisticated and ruthless conflict not only reshapes the regional landscape, but also sends a powerful message about American military strength and its ability to manage conflicts. A new chapter has opened on the world geopolitical map, with key players lurking behind the veil of war and diplomacy. Who will be the winner? Time will give the final answer. Directly responding to the attacks, Iran did not commit to an immediate retaliation, but promised to respond proportionally through groups such as Hezbollah or Hamas. Iranian media strongly condemned the action, calling it a blatant provocation and urging the international community to issue a comprehensive condemnation. An Iranian official affirmed that the sites previously attacked no longer contain radioactive materials, and the country's nuclear program will continue despite unavoidable delays. However, analysts believe that Iran's ability to retaliate is very limited after a series of recent clashes with Israel, which have significantly weakened its arsenal and destroyed key strategic facilities. In fact, Iran's allies in the region are also under heavy pressure, making coordinated counterattacks more difficult than ever. All developments are being closely monitored on the international stage, as tensions between the two sides show no signs of easing, and carry the risk of escalating into more serious conflicts. Will Washington and Tehran find a diplomatic way out? Or will this confrontation continue to escalate into a full-scale conflict? The answer remains uncertain. Power Insider will continue to accompany you in keeping up with the hottest developments. That's all we have for you today. We hope this newsletter has provided you with a comprehensive and accurate perspective. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any upcoming updates. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and see you at the same time tomorrow.